is All-Star game format, and so we'll I don't even got a quote, man. I'm just so happy they kicked Denver's tail, sending them back home to Denver, but we getting Nuggets either way. Cue the intro, brother.
It's the Rip City Wrap-Up, brought to you by Dick Hanna Subaru. Believe in nice. Here are your hosts, Tyree Smith, Danny Marang, and Joe Simons.
With 100 points on the board, we getting Nuggets figuratively, and we eating them literally. Thank you for joining Rip City Wrap-Up episode 27, sponsored by the good people at Dick Hanna Subaru on the Rip City TV network. Tyree Smith, Danny Marang, and Joe Simons with you after a phenomenal game that we saw at the Motor Center tonight. 126 to 124. The Blazers get a W over the Denver Nuggets. First of all, happy holidays to the boys. How you guys?
Happy holidays.
Happy. I know we're not there just yet, but how you guys feeling this holiday season?
Early present, the Blazers are not going to go 0 for December.
Hey.
Let's go. They did it.
It's the little things that count.
They got a game the last month of the year. I'm doing really good, buddy. Danny, it's nice to have you back in studio. We missed
Good
your
to not
presence.
be 2 o'clock in the morning. really super stoked about that.
Danny, that was really fun. I'm not gonna lie.
It was fun. It was a trip of a lifetime. Shout out to everybody who made that possible. It was an incredible trip. I've got my Army polo on, even though the Army boys lost.
Represent.
I had to represent being Air Force. Our Army is a bit like an uncle. The Army Air Corps. That's where the Air Force came from. National Security Act, 1947. You get to learn things here. There you go.
And you had a good time over there besides joining the city and everything.
Yeah, I mean, incredible city. DC's just set up awesome. Like, you can walk everywhere. They've got the hockey/basketball arena right there in the middle of downtown, alongside all the monuments, all the food, all the sights. Just an incredible time, man. Like it was a life-changing trip. As I explained to you guys, the trip to Arlington National Cemetery was the most humbling thing I've ever experienced in my life. It literally dropped me to my knees. It was incredible, and that was like I mean, I know this is the Blazers show, but everything outside of Army Navy. Everything that went into it was what made that trip great. The game was fine. Like it's an awesome game. The 125th meeting of Army Navy was incredible, but the stuff that went around the game, it was just unreal. And to see some of the most impressive young people I've ever seen in my entire life is insane. Like there's a West Point graduate. She is graduated in 2023. She's now Miss USA, and she's taking a sabbatical from the military, which is blessed by them, because she's going to get a master's in statistics from Stanford at 23 years old.
So her parents are proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, the kids are
parents
all
are
right.
proud.
Listen, we talk about Blazers and all that, but we got to give flowers when flowers are due. Happy you had a great time over there.
It was absolutely incredible. And I mean, tonight, look, I know people are tank.
No. Come on, not tonight.
Look, picking
No.
up a win it's enough to kind of keep things going. They drop a tough one to San Antonio.
Yeah.
They just don't have the talent to
blow
beat
another
Phoenix.
17-point lead would have been devastation. I'm so glad that Ant got a chance at redemption, because it really was pretty troubling two-sequence possession leading up to it, which allowed Denver to tie the game and then eventually take the lead before Ant got his chance at the end to shine and get the shot that's really buzzing social media right now. Trembier is the Blazers. How often have we said that this season? But those two possessions that they had, it was a lot of dribbling at the top of the circle. And I said to Tyree when we were watching it, I really hope the Blazers don't wait for the entirety of the game clock to tick down before taking a shot. And to Ant's credit, he did that and got to his spot inside. And Westbrook was all over him. And Westbrook was a man possessed tonight trying to exercise some of the Moda Center demons. And he had a good game tonight. But Ant, when it mattered the most, made the shot to get the victory for Portland. And I don't really care about tanking right now. Look, they're 9-8 victory when you haven't had one all month.
No, when you lose 6 in a row, it's tough. And like, look, you could see the Ant hits the game winner, and you could see the joy, the celebration. Everybody's just
the tongue out.
That's right.
And look, if you don't think Ant wants to stick it to Russell Westbrook, I mean, Russ hit that 3 that Ant let him take, and Russ immediately starts talking to his hand, doing the full Russ stuff. Like, look, Jokic was incredible tonight, and he was halfway engaged. Russ was,
and the sun came up. I mean, you could say that. Yeah.
Russ was the second best player tonight. Like, Jamal Murray turned it on in the fourth quarter, but otherwise, that man was a turnstile. He had no business being like. I don't want to normally go like, oh, you know, the Blazers got lucky, because they didn't get lucky. They took everything that Denver gave them, which was everything. Yeah. That Denver team is awful defensively, awful, horrendous. Just every single descriptive word you want to use for bad, that is what that team is defensively. They are a tire fire. Portland's offense is 27th or 28th in the league, depending on how you look at it. They are not good. They got everything and then some against Denver. Driving kicks. DeAndre Ayton looked like prime Draymond Green operating in the 4-on-3 tonight. DA was incredible. He dove hard, and instead of forcing shots, he was looking. You could find Tumani in the corner, Jeremy in the corner, Shaden on the wing, found Tumani on the cut on the lob. Like, he was dissecting. And then once he started rolling with there, midi.
And that's after an illness.
I mean, yeah, he just went out there, and his intensity was there the entire night. Everyone brought it. The Nuggets bench was chirping at Tumani when he jab up on Russ. Then he hit the 3, and they're chirping at him, and he just went bleep and dropped the 3 down on him. Denny chirping everyone, like every single player tonight. All but one player.
Yeah, but to that point, guys, if the Blazers go through that and you have this really emotional, high-intensity, well-played basketball game
and then you
that you are dominating at the end of the third quarter, and you crater and you're not able to turn it back the other way, you feel really bad about your performance and what would have been a good performance if you're not able to get over the top. So again, I know that we want to tank because of ping pong balls and yada.
You got to pick up a win.
You got to get a win. You have to get a win here or there, and tonight was the night to get a win.
We were both at the Moda Center, and I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, it was the run where I think they got us about 61-55. I haven't seen the Moda Center that excited, that hyped all season long.
Yeah, the only other time that it was like that was the
Yuki.
Yeah. That's about it. And it's you know it.
The 5'8" dude from Washington, if you're not familiar, he has a cult following across the NBA. When it's garbage time, he comes in. Everyone goes nuts in the stands.
The OKC third quarter or second quarter was also absolutely on tilt before things cratered.
Turned.
I mean, they got after it, and I think it was very similar to that. There's you were watching from here. I wanted to ask you, particularly that fourth quarter, because being in the building, it's always different kind of when you watch on TV. When the Blazers were getting good shots.
Yeah, it did.
Because like in the arenas, I'm sitting there watching. Sometimes you kind of get caught up in stuff, and you're
people not
acting
thing. As if the shots were good, or
no. I tweeted something out like, look, if between like I want to say like late third and the early fourth, I think I said something along the lines of they should be up by 25. Because the shots they have gotten tonight have been tremendous. I mean, you look up and down tonight, the Blazers ended up shooting 35% from 3. The looks that they generated, that should have been like a 45% night. Like, Shea left a lot on the board. I thought Ant left a couple on the board. Obviously, Scoot left some on the board. And you just kind of go up and down the list, and you're like, yeah, Jeremy was 3 of 10. Like, there was maybe 2 shots from 3 tonight. The one, even the one Shaden had to take at at the shot clock, the step
That
back
almost
that
went
rattled
in?
out.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a bad shot. Like, it seemed like there was only really two shots tonight. One was the scoot one from the wing where he missed everything. And the other one I think was one where Jeremy just kind of or Ant chucked one up maybe a little bit early.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was the shots they were getting all night long were at the rim or uncontested wide open shots with the ball pinging around. Yeah. Like, how many possessions tonight did we see the ball go inside, outside, swing into a wide open shooter over and over? And again, you have to credit the Blazers for doing that. But by God, Denver was as soft as butter tonight defensively. They had zero resistance. I mean, it wasn't even.
Is that surprising, though?
A little bit.
To this degree.
Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon are supposed to be kind of premier defenders. Aaron Gordon, that may be the worst I've ever seen him play. You look at the box score tonight. How many minutes did he end up playing? 31 minutes.
I understand, but look, I think Denver's record's a little bit misleading. Like,
yes.
You have the best player on the planet having the best season he's ever had in his career, and this is a team that's 2 games over 500 now. And if that's not happening, this is a team that is
lost to the
fighting
Wizards.
for the play-in.
The Wizards broke their 16-game losing streak against this Nuggets team.
Yeah, Poole was doing, new
Very
celebrations
stupid
that
things.
he was making up
Exactly.
playing against this team.
I had another media member who asked me, do you feel like Jokic is like kind of doing something like not really in him? Like, it feels like he's Kobe Bryant protesting. Do you remember when Kobe Bryant had the protest game where he just didn't do anything?
Are you saying tonight
Yeah.
Jokic felt that way?
And what's insane is he was that good tonight. 13 of 18, was it 34, 8 and 6, just walking into whatever he wanted. That shot that he had to tie the game, I mean, he did everything he could defensively, and Jokic said, hop on my back and go for a ride, Tumani. Enjoy. And there was just nothing he could do, and, he just walks down and scores. But before that,
Kind of felt by himself out there a
right?
little bit. Yeah.
And that was the thing, is like, there's at no point tonight that I thought that Portland couldn't get whatever they wanted. And again, I don't want to belittle Portland's output, but this is a team that has been one of the worst offenses in the league. And there was Ant got where he wanted, when he wanted, whenever he wanted. The same with Shaedon Sharp. Denny dictated for 2 quarters.
Denny was amazing tonight.
Turbo was wild, but before
Denny,
we talk a little bit more,
unbelievable.
Please use the hashtag RC wrap up so you can join the conversation. I know we missed each other. We haven't got a chance to talk a little bit, so please use the hashtag RC wrap up. Join the convo. We want to see what you guys are talking about. But before we get to that, let's hear a little bit from our good sponsor, Dick Hanna Subaru. Joe. Yeah, you.
Dick Hanna Subaru, they're all about making the car buying experience a pleasure. Not only does every new Subaru come with a lifetime powertrain warranty, but for a limited time, you also get 2 Mount Fusion passes with your purchase or lease. Dick Hanna Subaru, they believe in nice. Visit today and see what makes them different. Oh, wake up, Grandma. It's time for a deep dive into a shallow topic. That's right, it's Trend BA.
Trend BA time. To the Blazer Box we go, my friends.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I love those jerseys.
Very nice, right?
I like those.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Good font.
The Memphis Hustle.
Yeah, they had that actually in the Portland game. Someone was wearing one of those jerseys tonight. I apologize. What you're looking at here is the Grizzlies beat the Golden State Warriors tonight by 51 points, and Draymond Green and Stephen Curry had no field goals. None.
Yeah, Draymond
For the
finished
first time.
with the Tony Snell. The trillion, not even a trillion. Didn't even put the 1 up. Straight zeros across the box score.
My God.
Truly tremendous stuff.
1 steal for Draymond. So let's give him a
so
little
he did get the trillion.
He did.
He did get a trillion. There you go. Shouts to Draymond.
That's not good.
No, I was told that if you lose by 46 or more points, you were a garbage organization.
Who told you that?
From light years to days behind, baby. Truly tremendous stuff. Just bravo. That's a title-winning team right there. You are one player away from a title.
Oh my! Look at those first 3 quarters. They had 15 in the first, 23 in the second, and 21 in the third.
I brought this up because
It's funny.
first of all, it's a little fun. It's a little funny.
It's fun.
I want to see what you guys are talking about, but is the Warriors done?
They're not
this
done.
season?
I think they'll probably look to make some move because I think they're trying to just wring out whatever left of Steph and Draymond to try to make, I won't even say a title run, but to get themselves in the conversation for a title run perhaps.
I don't even think they're going that far.
What do you mean?
because I think they're going to pretend. So they gave.
Oh, I see.
So
They're going to masquerade as a contending team a la your Los Angeles Lakers.
So this is, they make the move for Dennis Schroeder, right?
Yeah.
And they gave up nothing
Right.
of consequence. They gave up some second-round picks, okay? They still have their first-round pick, and they've got Andrew Wiggins, and they've got some other things. They've got, Jonathan Kuminga. They've got Brandon Podziemski.
Really trying to showcase Kuminga as much as they can.
Yeah, that's working out real well for them.
Not happening.
See, minus 23, 2 for 12 tonight.
It was funny to see their NBA Cup quarterfinal game because they were like, okay, if we can get Jonathan to have a good game in this game, there's lots of people watching, and maybe we can dupe somebody into giving us something back.
The thing about this is like, they're going to sit there and they're going to get to the trade deadline, and they're going to do the same thing that the Blazers organization did in the tail end of the Dame era, which was, there's just nobody there.
We're one piece away.
Something like that.
We're this close.
But I mean, like, there was the rumors about whether it was moving for Paul George or moving for Jimmy Butler or getting that guy, but there was a hesitance to put C.J. McCollum in a deal. They're going to sit there. The Warriors are going to sit there and do, well, we just can't put Brandon Podziemski in a deal, and that's even more of an egregious thing. It's like, because that was what held them up from getting Lauri Markkanen this summer, was an unwillingness to part with Brandon Podziemski. Which, as good as Lauri is, it's one of those things where it's like, does Lauri put them over the top? Lauri's really good, but does that make him a title team? Probably not. It's probably the quote-unquote right thing to do.
Right, but the Blazers did the right thing a lot of time, and we all love Rodney Hood, but he wasn't going to put them over the top to win a title. But there was a lot of Rodney Hoods and those types of moves that would happen with Portland, very pragmatic things, we'll say, and it just kept you around the 3rd to 6th seed, and maybe you get to the first round, maybe you get to the second round, but that's kind of the ceiling.
Remember the ultimate line. With Al-Farouq Aminu playing as power forward, they project to be a 54-win team.
Let's go, Chief. I hope Chief's having a great night. I'm sure he took his kids to Moana 2 over the holidays.
Love it.
Oh, God.
Love our guy, Chief.
Yes, man. Let's go ahead and move on. Talk a little bit about DeAndre Ayton and Denny Avdia.
Yes.
To goodness, DA came back, missed in the last 2 games from illness, and obviously he had a double-double, 15 points and 13 rebounds. But that boy, Denny, turbo, 19 points, 2 rebounds and stuff. But if you guys watched him, he just changed the dynamic of the game. His fast pace was actually on point. Like, he was getting shots up there, those threes. What was your guys' take of DA and DA?
On DeAndre.
DA squared.
Yeah,
Whoa,
DA
bro.
squared, right?
Yeah.
I don't do math. Please
That's
don't do
good.
math.
I like that.
DeAndre squared? Is that how that works?
DA. Yeah.
I really haven't taken math since high school. I'm dead serious. Y'all think I'm kidding.
Cubed, square root.
Something along those lines.
Go ahead, Dave.
failed.
But no, I thought DeAndre was incredible tonight. I thought, forget the box score. I thought the way he played, and to kind of take a Chaunceyism, I thought his spirit was right. The way he competed, like his energy, he's clapping, he's getting after it, diving out and throwing the ball back in and igniting the break. You knew that play had to turn into a make. You could just feel the energy coming off of that, right? He fought for contested rebounds regularly. And again, I thought his activity in the short roll was the best I've ever seen it. And this is kind of continues that theme of like the things that DeAndre is doing are things he has not been asked to do or has not delivered on in the past. And I think he is willingly changing his game and trying to take real steps in doing that. I thought he took on the challenge of guarding Jokic one-on-one pretty much the entire night. And look,
He was effective at times, especially early in the game.
Yes.
I thought DA did a very good job against Jokic.
And with that, no one can guard that man straight up. It's just, it is what it is, and you're kind of getting sacrificed. Well, remember the Portland-Denver series where Portland went down 4-1, or they lost 4-1, and a big part of that was because Jusuf Nurkic's ego couldn't take the hit of guarding Jokic one-on-one and getting cooked. Because every time he stayed on him, nobody else got anything. And Portland was winning those games. And then he got frustrated and got foul trouble in 3 straight games. And the second he went out, there's no other answer for him because there's nobody else as big as Nurk to kind of handle that. You do have to swallow your pride and your ego to guard that guy because he's going to cook you.
He did.
Did you see the move, the spin move he had on Klingon? He caught it immediately. Like, DC's never seen somebody like that just get him like that. You could see him like kind of looking like, oh, that was different. And it's just, whether you're a rookie or a 10-year vet, Jokic is going to get you. But I thought DA stayed game the entire game. And I thought 2 fought incredibly hard. Jeremy fought hard. Denny fought incredibly hard. And that's what you have to do. You have to fight and make Jokic work. but also not let the others beat you. And I thought they did a really good job of keeping the others out of the game really until the fourth quarter. And I thought
the
D was
three-point
huge
shooting started at that point.
Yeah.
Well, I thought so I'm a big DA fan, but I thought his defense was a little more lackluster. I thought when he was on the floor, at least during the first half of the game, he focused a lot more on getting down the court and getting some offensive shots up prior to his defense, because his defense didn't really look that good tonight. And you can credit that to
Jokic.
former MVP.
I mean,
yeah.
the shots Jokic hits and the way he does it, it's, every time he hit one of those shots, it touched nothing but the bottom of the net. And every time those shots fall, I'm just kind of looking around, and everybody in Meter Row is kind of like,
I mean, those go in
good
the
luck.
carnival hoop. The hoop that is too small, it still goes in.
It goes
now.
straight up, straight down. It's like the geometry on it makes no sense.
Yes, and I did think the effort was really good tonight, but I thought Denver did a good job at times especially in that second quarter. It seemed like there was 3 or 4 consecutive possessions where they took the ball out of the basket, they threw a baseball pass, and they were able to get a dunk. And Portland did correct that, and we've seen that at times. The transition defense hasn't been great. And again, the fourth quarter is obviously going to be the thing that we focus on, right? Where Portland was able to close it out, but also where Denver was able to get back
Really get into it.
the game. And it's really, really nice to see this sort of, I'll use that word too, spirit from the guys. Because it'd be really easy to be deflated after, oh my God, this happened just last week against San Antonio. It's going to happen again this week.
Yep.
But it's just so important that they got over the top and got it done. And maybe to transition over to Denny, I think there's an argument to be made he's been the best Blazer for the last 3 weeks. And I
don't think it's an argument.
I think, well, I don't know if Blazer fans would have that same. I'm curious. Do you guys agree with that? Use the hashtag RC Wrap-Up if Denny's been the best Blazer for the last 3 weeks. And I think part of that is that I think there's still a narrative out there that, I mean, Denny played 21 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
And you can safely say, I mean, Ant had a sensational game. Shaden had a sensational game. But like you said, Tyree, the energy that he comes in with, he flips the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
He is this spark plug. And I just think that, yes, it makes logical sense to have the players who are playing the best play the most minutes possible. But I just think Denny is filling such a specific role for this team right now. Don't mess with something that is working. And again, this problem will solve itself once the roster turns over.
Yeah, I mean,
Denny
come trade deadline, he'll be starting.
Denny will be in the starting lineup full time.
Yes.
That will be a thing that happens going forward.
Yeah. And my fault.
No, go.
I think it's more so of, and we talked about this last show, the formula right now in terms of where these guys are, where they're putting it are, it's a plan. There is a plan. And I said this before, there was a reason that Delano Banton came in at the time that he came in, and that he's not in the starting lineup. It's not meant for that. His game is not meant for a starting lineup to where he's not a 25-point nighter guy.
No, his skill is getting shots up, and that second unit needs a guy who gets shots up.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's his thing. And as it pertains to Denny, I actually got a number of texts from friends and other kind of NBA folks. Why isn't Denny playing? I was like, well, they're not going to take Jeremy out. He's earned the right to be there, and Jeremy is a guy who, and you can say, well, Denny's going to be there long term. Jeremy is a professional. He is not going to get sat down over Denny. That's just not. It was like, it's not how it should be. You can argue that stuff until you're blue in the face.
Yeah, it's just not how it works.
It's just not how, and it's not how it works in Portland. It's not how it works anywhere.
Right.
Like that's just not like. And again, Denny was tremendous tonight, and he probably was better than Jeremy on the whole. But you don't go by games, and you could say that maybe that's the wrong way to go about it. And this is a discussion that I've had in the past, and even more recently. Like, should teams be like more baseball-esque in like some of their matchups? Hey, this guy's hot. Maybe I should give him some more at-bats. Or they've got a hot pitcher. Maybe I go to the bullpen a little more frequently. Or, you know, and just being like less about the 82 games at all and being more in the moment. And I think Chauncey Billups, for the most part, does kind of go with some of the moment stuff with some guys.
He did certainly early on in the season.
But I think things are starting to iron it out. And the players and the coaching staff have kind of said the same. But I think Denny has been tremendous, and I think the big part, ball going in hoop is a huge part of it. But tonight, he's 3 of 6 from 3. Those 3 threes that he hit were some of the most confident-looking threes I've ever seen him take.
Yeah.
I mean, catch, walk into it, let it fly from above the break, and you're like, oh.
Most
okay.
confident since he's been here, at least.
Oh, 100%. And like, again, ball going in the hoop is a huge part of it. But I don't know if you guys saw it or picked it up on camera. When the Nuggets bench was talking trash to 2, he hits that 3. Two let that whole bench know, barked at him the whole length of the court. Look, Two's not a guy that starts the talking, but he will keep it going. Denny came down, he hit a three. He looked at the Nuggets bench and gave him one of these. Those guys are kind of like, to go like full Mighty Ducks here, they're kind of the Blazers Bash Brothers. And they have like this very physical mentality that kind of oozes off them. And I think everybody feeds off of them. And there's a little je ne sais quoi of just stuff that comes from those guys.
Something I want to make sure we hit tonight before we forget. The Blazers didn't exactly shoot the cover off the ball. I mean, when you look at the final numbers, they were 34% from three. They were 46% from the field. They shot 24 free throws and made 20 of them. Shaedon was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And we talked about this as a good barometer for Shai and his ability to get to the rim versus settling for the three-point shot. He was, 2 of 8 from three. But he did take 8 free throws. He made 7 of them. And across the board, you had 7 Blazers attempt a free throw. And that's not something we've seen frequently throughout the season. This is a team that likes to settle for jump shots when things aren't going well, and they did the opposite tonight. Now, they had the hot shooting early, which I think gave them confidence to go to the basket, but I love the way that they pursued the rim and went to the basket tonight. I thought they crashed very, very effectively. I mean, they had 15 offensive rebounds. This is exactly the type of performance that gets you excited, and let's just say it was a tight game throughout and they lost it, fine. But to have that big lead and then lose it, that's where it feels a little bit different. So I'm glad they got it over the top. I'm glad they did it this way. It's just a really good feeling now in Rip City, despite being a 9-win squad.
I asked this in the press conference. I don't know if you guys heard it, but
We always hear you, Danny.
I don't know. I never.
Come
Danny,
on.
I promise you are the first person every time, and I know it's your voice.
Well,
Pecking order. Look, folks, there's a pecking order in the NBA, okay? Just remember that.
look, everybody kind of looks to me to be the guy that asks.
I'm sure they do.
It's just everybody. You gonna go?
Yeah.
All right, fine. But I asked Chauncey. It felt like this was the best game that Ant and Shaedon have played off of each other.
Yeah.
And it was very symbiotic. Like one fed the other. And did it feel like that to you guys?
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only did, they combine for, 57 points, but 55 points, but, Simons had a double-double. Shai filled it up across the board. But again, there was a dynamic element to their game. It wasn't just all from the perimeter.
No,
there was
it wasn't your
on the
turn, my
interior.
turn.
Exactly.
It felt natural. It didn't feel forced. Like Ant was, to me, this was one of Ant's best games I've ever seen him play, and not from a production standpoint, from a decision-making standpoint. He made, with the exception of those 2 plays in the fourth quarter, I thought his execution was damn near flawless. Like he just made the right choice over and over. And Chauncey always said, just make the right play and let it come to you. And I thought both those guys, Shaedon, we have lamented and harped on his lack of aggression. He took the threes tonight, 2 of 8. How many threes did you hate?
Not many of them.
1, maybe?
Yeah.
But the rest of it was getting downhill. There's a shot he hit in the fourth quarter that I loved. He attacks the second side, gets downhill, gets to the mid-range, stops, immediately sees Jokic, pulls up, elevates, and just cash. And it settled things down at a time that they desperately needed it. And everybody's like, well, he settled for a pull-up. You didn't want him taking shots at the dribble. No, I want him taking aggressive shots. Yeah. Because that, as much as settling for a mid-ranger doesn't sound aggressive, he dictated the defense and made them do something by being aggressive. And for him, that is anytime he's going downhill on an action, that to me is a positive outcome.
Success.
Yeah. I want to say this before we hear from Dick Hanna Subaru. Shai had 27 points. 21 of them was because he went to the basket. That is shot selection.
Yes.
The problem with this team is the shot selection. And honestly, around the NBA is that they've just adjusted to what the three-point ball is and how everything is about the three-point ball. And every offense kind of looks the same. If you're really thinking about it, I want you guys to look at a national NBA game. Look at them. When Christmas comes, watch them. You can see very similarities, between every team because they've adopted this three-point shot that is just not good for the game of basketball. It's trash. I hate it. You should not rely on that the entire time. Shaquille O'Neal is the greatest big man of all time. And it wasn't because he was shooting threes. That era was not. I'm sorry, I'm hot. I got a little rant in me.
No, I like
It's
it.
just annoying. It's so stupid.
Wilt is very upset at you.
And you know what? Wilt can come call my number. I still got the same number from Florida, 561. I ain't gonna say the rest. But the point is that adapting to what the NBA is now with the 3-point shot is worsening the product of the NBA. The first shot of the game tonight from Denver was a 3, and it bricked. Trash. Now we can hear from Dick Hanna Subaru. I'm sorry, Joe.
No, I
I'm
like
sorry,
it.
Danny.
Zig when they zag. I like where you're going with that. You can zig and zag in your new Subaru from Dick Hanna. Did you hear they're giving out Mount Hood Fusion passes? Did you guys hear about this yet?
I did not. Talk to me about that.
Okay, well, you get 2 passes, Danny. Plus, every new Subaru comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty.
They believe in nice over there, don't they?
A little bit.
It's a perfect time to grab a Subaru and hit the slopes this winter.
I promise they're watching, and I talked to them this week.
Dick Hanna?
We're hitting the slopes. We're gonna hit the slopes.
Are you serious? That's actually going to happen?
We're figuring something out.
Okay.
We're gonna hit.
We're
the
efforting.
slopes. We're efforting.
Baby steps.
We're gonna figure something out.
Let's be like in an 80s ski movie, and Danny can be the villain, and he tries to chase me down the slopes. And
Is this? I've never seen an.
if that's not
okay with
80s
this.
ski movie villain hair, I don't know what is. You just slick that thing back, you get some giant pit vipers on.
I try. Just it
Production
won't go
loves
back.
your hair, by the
It
way.
won't stay back.
Listen, your hair is phenomenal.
the
but-
talk of the nation's capital. Is it time for Trend BA?
It's time to NBA because they're talking it and it's not good. And it's about All-Star to the Blazer box, my friends.
Wait, Tyree, are they doing my idea? Is it going to be just 2-pointers, no 3-pointers for the All-Star game?
No, it is not.
Okay.
People, let's go ahead and get real with it, all right?
What is this?
All-Star game will be a mini tournament, all right? Featuring 4 teams. Please disregard what you see on the right with that, whatever that video is.
That's
but
perfect.
It will be a mini tournament featuring 4 teams, 3 teams of NBA All-Stars, team of 8 players. 4 teams will include Rising Stars champions, and each game played to a final target score of 40 points. Now we go to the next All-Star game prize.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
this is the pool. Championship teams, $125K a player. Second place team, $50K per player. And third and fourth, you're hitting with $25K for the
Why
players.
do we care if millionaires get paid $100,000 for a
I
game?
don't get
That is
that.
the stupidest incentive that they tout to fans. I will never understand. Why would I possibly care about an NBA player getting paid more money for an exhibition game?
Well,
doesn't-
we're not done.
It's great for them. We're not done. There's more. I'm sorry.
There's more.
Okay.
Joe's
wait.
angry.
There's
The Blazer
more.
box.
There's more. This is coming from honorary general managers and coaches. Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny will each be GMs of NBA All-Stars. Candace Parker, WNBA great, will be the GM of Rising Stars champion, and head coach and assistant coach are the top 4 East and West teams to coach the 4 teams. We aren't done yet.
Oh my God.
All-Star voting begins Thursday.
That's
Today! I hope you guys were voting, all right? Because they were talking about it all in the Motor Center. So, what's your guys' thoughts on All-Star Weekend?
I mean, we're talking about it, but I mean, Katie hates it. AD hates it. I hate it. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis both said this is stupid. And we should just go back to East versus West, and yeah, let's do that. And actually caring about the game somewhat.
They're trying to shame players into caring, and because that's what this is. The teams are small enough. They're going to make one of them obviously play the younger team, and you're not going to want to lose to them because
course.
those guys are going to want to have something to prove.
Led by Tumani Kamara.
I mean, yeah, probably.
He should be on that team.
I would.
Can we vote for that? We can't vote for the sophomore team, can we?
I would be pretty surprised if 2 was not on that team.
Yeah.
I
agree.
genuinely would. Beyond that, hearing KD and kind of what he said about it, does it suck? Yeah, it does. But also, KD, you and Braun and Steph are kind of the guys to blame for that. You were the torchbearers of the last 15 years, and you let it get to this point. So if you want it to matter, like Larry Bird went into the locker room last year and basically cussed the team out before the game. Like, go give a damn. And then they proceeded to not. So that's where we are.
I guess, but the financial incentives kill me. And look, I don't care about these guys getting paid $70 million a season. Go with God. It's the nature of the NBA. I just think highlighting that for fans as a way to drum up interest for something that has zero interest already in a format that is not only dumb, but confusing.
Yeah.
Just such a miss.
Look, my co-host Dusty Harrow, he is kind of with you in the same spot. But he said, you know what would make this interesting? if you put it all in like cash, like clear boxes, like in a under the like have the LED floor, but like have it under the floor so you can see it, just all of the cash. You know, it's a little bit of it like
So like Squid Game?
yeah, basically yeah. Go like but like it's do it in Las Vegas and just have all the cash there. You know what I mean? Just have it dangle above the crowd. Just buckets of cash.
Suitcase match? Like in
Yes, 100%.
I'm pretty sure you just gave Netflix their next idea.
right?
That's why I'm looking at you. I'm like, hold up. That's
They
kinda
combine
cool.
their sports with their reality shows
Yeah.
with their Squid Game. It's the perfect Venn diagram for streaming.
But I mean,
2027 streaming.
The thing is, like all-star games across all sports suck now. They're just not good.
Dead serious.
The NFL moved to flag football and some skills competition. The NHL has gone to full skills competition. Like baseball is because it's kind of like a solo endeavor. You
Yeah.
can continue to do it and it's fun. And I think that they actually do care a little bit.
They do.
Particularly in baseball. But it's the difference is in the NBA, NFL, NHL. The physical stuff is a lot more taxing.
Yeah.
It
And you
is.
could find a way to like. I don't begrudge the players. I get it. You're playing 55, 60 games before this, and you just want a break.
Yeah.
And,
It's fine.
And
Whatever.
Look, and again, I'm not feeling sorry for the millionaires, but when they go on these all-star games now, 90% of their time is doing a shoe tour, doing a party,
Yeah, plugging a brand.
It's everyone's like, oh, I'm sure that's hard. Like, no, it's not hard, but you're like, your attention, your emotion, your brain is just on for like 20 hours, and then go play in a game that you don't care about. And that's the problem. Is like, how do you make both fans and players care? And I don't necessarily think there's a good way to do it. They're trying.
Well, don't you think part of it is that these games used to be showcases for the best players in the league, and the television structure used to be in a way where you didn't get to see players in all
Yes.
markets, and now you get to see all these players in all these leagues all the time whenever you want. So there's no mystery. There's
Unless
no-
you're the Thunder, which
Right.
means you're never on TV.
Yeah, but it's not like, you're not getting Celtics games or you're not getting Hawks games. You're not getting, like, if you want to watch Lonzo Ball play basketball, you can do that whenever you want.
well,
When
when he's, his leg isn't falling off.
Sure.
When he's playing.
Fair enough.
Overall, it's so no. I'm sorry, Joe.
No,
I know you got a point.
I
Go
just
ahead.
have one more small point that I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
make.
go
and I'm
ahead.
going to make this point when we get to February, too. You want to fix the dunk contest? Because I want to fix the dunk contest.
That's what I blame LeBron for.
The only thing you have to do is get one chance at a dunk. If you miss your dunk, you're done. It has to be a dunk you can make. I hate that you get 5 attempts to do it, and your 5th one counts even though you missed the first 4. One shot, that's it, baby.
I think even more than that, I agree.
Thank you.
Number
I like
one,
that.
if you're gonna miss, I would say 2, where you like get an automatic loss of like 10 points.
For every miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beyond that, stars have to care. Like
Right.
the best dunk contest we've ever had is Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. Like I don't think that you can say Jordan and Dominique. That's fine. I'm not going to really argue with you. But you've got 2 bigger, stronger, more obscenely athletic humans in Gordon and LaVine.
I think
like,
people
what they
just
can
point to
do.
the other one because those are A-listers.
Yes, and that's the problem. The second LeBron James said no,
Right.
stars were like, well, if LeBron's not going to do it, I don't have
Right.
to do it.
Like if Mac McClung
That's
is
why
the
you
star
blame
of
him.
your slam dunk contest,
Give-
who's Mac McClung? Exactly.
Exactly.
Who won last year?
Was it McClung? Yeah.
Give me John Morant.
What a
Give me
sideshow.
Ant Edwards.
Yeah.
And look, give me the up and comers because Levine and Gordon were not guys you knew. Like,
Give me a senior division, 32 and up. Let's
Oh,
go.
gosh, have
Let's
mercy.
go.
but give me Shaden. Like,
Yes, please give us
Get-
Shaden.
you-
Shea has to
Please.
care.
I mean, well, look, Shea was very, very, very likely going to do it last year, but with the injury and everything else that piled up, it ended up being something that didn't happen.
These short shows, we're almost done.
But I mean,
I know it's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
But
we're almost done.
You get Ja and you get Ant Edwards in that
Yeah.
dunk contest.
yeah.
People care.
It's got juice.
I mean,
Well, Sprite will care.
Listen, I mean, overall, it I love you guys. Overall, dude, it really is about the players. I mean, if you talk about the NFL, they could have hit. Sean Taylor made a blocking hit on a quarterback. I forgot the year, but he knocked his helmet off.
Yeah.
Sean Taylor was a dog, and he meant and he loved the game.
Yeah.
He was in it. These players have to care. They got to be in it. Just give us a little more effort. You're getting paid. You should be having fun with your homies on the other teams that you got to play against, but this time you get to play with. Let's go ahead and shoot a little hoops.
it's not
like-
hard to ratchet it up 20%.
That's what I'm saying. Get a little bit.
The 200-point scores. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me just say, get a little
one
bit of
cares.
hood, man. Get a little bit of street ball in there.
Look,
Get rid of that 3-point line.
I think the Elam ending, like cutting it down to 40, does up the stakes a little bit because what do we get when we get the fourth quarter? we get basketball.
Yeah, but if a casual fan is tuning in, it's so confusing. There's 4 games and they're playing to 40 and all these weird and who's on what team. It's just like East versus West, regular game, take it or leave it.
I have a bigger question. What do you like better? All-Star game specific jerseys or when they wear their home jerseys?
When they wear their team jerseys.
Okay,
it's not even
Thank
close.
you.
That is the correct response.
We're almost out of time. We didn't even say what the next game is.
No, listen. We got 1 minute. My producers are in my ear.
Texas
Can we go to the
two-step.
Blazer box
Texas
really quick?
two-step.
Yes, let's go to the Blazer box if we have a quick second. If
San
not,
Antone.
it's fine. Next time is episode 28, and that is this Saturday when they are on the road at San Antonio against Victor Wembanyama. And Chris Paul will be back, hopefully not trying to get out. Guys, how did they get a win?
Ball going hoop. Chris Paul gets ejected again.
I do appreciate just how grumpy he is.
It's so
grumpy old
good.
man
It's
for
fantastic.
He'll
no
never stop.
reason.
He'll never stop.
Oh, gosh. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us on episode 27. Blazers get the W over Denver. Can they get win number 10 this Saturday? 5:30 tip on the road against San Antonio. We'll see you then, folks. Sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. Have a great holiday.